Bonjour, je suis Daniel. Aujourd'hui, je vous invite à chameauter mon plan d'apprentissage du français. I'm not even sure if I said that correctly, but today I would like to invite you to roast my studying plan of French. So today I will share my plan of study with you so you can actually take a grain of salt from it. But at the same time, if you are someone who has already studied French before and you have some secret tricks, secret sauce you want to share with the others, be sure to drop it down below because it will not only help me but can also help the others to learn French rapidly. And let's get started. And to begin the video, I want to give you some background information. Why I would like to study French and what kind of a level of French I'm going to achieve. Last year, I went on exchange study in France, and I went to the school called École Polytechnique. If you don't know that, that's like the most prestigious engineering school in French. And that experience was kind of a disaster to me because the courses are so hard. But on the other hand, my French wasn't that good. Before going to France, I had zero level of French. And after 6 months of exchange study, even if I had a really good experience, I feel like I still haven't explored everything about Paris, about Parisian people. But I have built somewhat a good foundation of French. I could say like currently I'm more like A2 or B1, but still at the level you can only guess what the others are saying. Barely talk about your opinions. And that is something I want to improve. But still, Daniel, why you would like to study French again? If you have already come back from the exchange study, right? After 6 months, I'm going to France again because I was just admitted to HEC in the Master in Management program. Although that program is in English, but I still feel a really strong urge of learning French because I heard it's really hard to get a job in French if you are not fluent in French. Internship is a very important element of the program, so I want to get as much experience as possible. So I think learning French is a very good asset for me, and having a language as an asset can help me to connect with more people, and more people means more opportunity. So, why not learn it? So what I'm thinking right now is before going there, in these 5 months, I want to build a very strong foundation in grammar and vocabulary in French, which allows me to form a very long sentence and just communicate my ideas very loosely, but not in a very professional way. With this foundation, I could carry this foundation to France so that I could immerse myself within the environment and will just learn while doing it. So right now, let's see how am I going to achieve my goal. And when I usually have a goal, I will divide this into several parts. It has long-term goal, short-term goal, but today I want to break it into 2 parts, just inputs and outputs. And input is going to be the part where I will absorb all the building block of the language, such as grammar and vocabulary. This will acquire through formal training. So in the contrary of doing self-study, I would prefer to enroll some online on-demand classes and follow along with the textbook because I think they are really well structured in a way that will build a very strong foundation instead of you self-studied and then grab a little bit of information from here, from there, and they are not tightly united together. So currently I'm enrolling in an online on-demand courses based on the textbook. Even though this class is from China, but I believe you could find similar things on English websites, such as I noticed there are some in Udemy, and I think they looks pretty good. And I think a little bit of investment in language learning is very worthy, especially for the later stage of language learning, because if you don't have these things well structured, you will lose a lot of time, but also you may not learn language correctly. And yes, in the online course, I will primarily focus on vocabulary and grammar. And then after each class, I will review it after 3 days and 5 days using that learning curve method. And my reviewing process is very simple. And currently, a few days after the lesson, I will do a dictation over the passage of my class.
Un mercredi sur deux, 22h25.
So that this will not only help to improve my listening skills, but can also like review the point that has been like mentioned during the class. And while you write things down at a paper, it's always good to stimulate your brain, your ears, your eyes, your mouth, all these things synchronously, I mean at the same time. So like you can get a maximum sensation of your brain, and then yeah, you will just absorb all these information. Outside the classroom, I'm also planning to do some like daily immersion, French immersion and accumulation. This includes watching French YouTube, and then at the same time I grab some books from France when on my way back to Japan. So it's kind of a cheat code, but I would like to read these books again and jot down the vocabulary if I don't know them. Even if I jot down like 5 words per day, but after 100 days, it's gonna be 500 words. And the YouTube channel can be like educational, entertaining, like whatever I like with the subtitle. I could learn a lot of things that are not in the textbook, such as putain, merde. So combined with the knowledge in the classroom, this process will constantly stimulate my brain of reviewing all these things to maximize the efficiency. Then let's move on to the output. Output is very important as well. Well, this part can be a little tricky because a lot of time we need a feedback loop to tell us whether we do things correctly. But gladly, I have some resources. First, because I'm still a university student, so in the next semester, I still could access some French courses in the school with a French professor. Every time during the class, I'm gonna rush to the front of the classroom and just talk to the professor as much as possible. Just train my mouth, blah, blah, blah. And then at the same time, secondly, I think Lingoda will be a very good option for me. I was enrolling in Lingoda back when I was in Paris, and I feel like it has built a very good foundation for me. And also, the class structure is like you can talk with the professor on a certain subject based on class material. So you can not only like reviewing all the grammar and the vocabulary, but you can also like practice these things, practice your speaking skills with the professor. All the teachers on the Lingoda, I think they are pretty nice. So first, for the writing, I'm thinking to like after the reading session, I will write a short summary of text of what I have read. That's gonna be helpful. Only improve my like reading skills, but I can also like writing something at least every day. Just keep producing it. And at the same time, I think we can utilize ChatGPT a lot. Like we can just put the text to the ChatGPT and ask it to correct it for me.
Of course, I'd be happy to help.
Basically, I think this is my plan so far. I'm thinking to use it to help me to get to B2. I'm not sure if I can achieve it or not, but if you think you have any other tips, just be sure to drop it down in the comment section. And also, I think it's very important to keep in mind that studying language is a very long journey, and you cannot see a progress in just one day of, I will just keep the grind day by day, and let's see how far I can go. And be sure to subscribe to my channel, because probably after 5 months, I could get to B2, and you will just go back to this video and see what did I do. At the same time, if you want to go to France for exchange study, be sure to check out this video right here, and you might find something unexpected. So, see you next time.